I realized that I just turned turned this on and didn't say anything. Um, Hello, assuming this actually goes to YouTube. Um, so today being the 23rd of August, in the LEL Discord, we got a new channel, and the channel is going is going to be for duels, which are supposed to be like 1v1 challenges. We might end up having a little bit of a like ladder of our own, given time. But for the moment, unless you count the previous sets uh, between well, I say sets, the previous little show matches between Russ and I, and between Zeus and Gary, we haven't had too much 1v1 content. I actually think Blag and Secretary played one as well, earlier in uh, the LEL season. But yeah, with that said, I thought they were gonna go random Civ, but Russ has managed to lure Harya into the Bulgarians mirror. So we will see how this goes. Definitely, the fact that they are playing Bulgarians mirror actually like makes me maybe favor Russ a little bit. Um, Although he's saying his map gen hates him. Yeah, he does not have any wood in the back of his base. That's a pretty rough one for Arabia. I will say, I don't think having a forward lumber camp is the end of the world. Um, it's annoying if your opponent goes ranged, but actually in a Bulgarian's mirror, like you can go archers, you just can't upgrade them. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But with that said, at least at the moment, pretty. Oh, they're actually both. Uh, they were both idle for about the same amount of time there. But yeah, we got Dark Age. Not much to comment on at the moment, aside from the weird wood lines there. Harya is able to take a back wood line here. Both of them have gone just 3 on wood. And looks like we're... Yep, Russ has already lured his boar. Harya's luring it right now. And a few different geese all die, but... Oh, sorry. Goodness, no. He took the first boar very, very early. And is now taking the second one. Arya's going to need to watch out because he is about to get housed once this villager creates. I think that's going to, yeah, cause some issues there. Gonna panic a house down. So I believe this is what people would consider badly housed when you're having to wait the entire time a house goes up. So that'll, well, that actually didn't really cause any significant advantage for Russ because of his own idle TC time. So right now it's 15 and 15. But yeah, when Russ issued his challenge, he said that he thought Harya was a little better than him, and that he needed to test the hypothesis. I'm not sure how this is going to go in a 1v1. Like Harya is, we were also talking earlier today that he's absolutely like the most improved person in the LEL League so far. Player. But is a little bit more used to the team games, to my knowledge. And I don't know how familiar he is with Bulgarians. At this point, has ended up a Vil behind, actually a little bit closer to like 1.5. It's 18 for Harya, 19 for Russ. Looks like we're shifting a bunch of vills around maybe over here. I only see 4, 8, and 1, so... Ah, that would be why. Okay, so Russ is going to go ahead and take the deer, the emus. Went ahead and milled it, as did Harya. They both went out for the emus and just milled them. That does leave the villagers very exposed to some potential man-at-arms, and Harya does click up first. Are we going to see... Yes, we are. We're going to see a barracks, and this is kind of nice because it forces anything that wants to attack this wood line from this side. They will have to go through the TC line of sight, or the TC range. They could still go behind and come in this way and hit the wood line, but that's also somewhat easily walled off by just plopping a house down here. So since they have both gone heavy onto deer, rush should actually be... Let's check the res collected. No, it's literally right here. Yeah, Russ is about 2k ahead in res collected. Harya's gonna scout the barracks. Goes ahead and doinks Russ's Ville a couple times, but this is still a Dark Age scout, so... A Dark Age scout can kill an unloomed Ville just fine. It's not gonna stand much of a chance against a loomed Ville, and Russ does have loom. But Harya seeing these Vills out here is pretty good for him. Does have now 2 man-at-arms. Where's the other one? Gotcha, so one here, one here. It's gonna make a third, doesn't look like it. Looks like we might have a bit of a man-at-arms duel here once Russ hits feudal. No militia being created quite yet, but with Bulgarians you just get man-at-arms for free. Not seeing a click yet, so let's check Harya's line of sight here. He saw those Vills, but it looks like he doesn't want to hit them, which might just be, this actually looks like it might be a decent play, because this is an individual, we got an individual Vill here as opposed to 7 over there. Vills can fight back man-at-arms if needed. And yeah, Harya spots it. So yeah, this Vill's gonna have some troubles here. He's actually pretty likely to die. Yep. Yeah, they should be able to track this down pretty easily. Russ actually is gonna go into the Bulgarian archers. So kind of an unexpected move, given that Bulgarians don't get crossbowmen, to say nothing of arbalest. But yeah, you can see here, actually Russ is going to lose another Vil. The archer comes in to help. He was fighting downhill. It looks like there's a little slope there, up to the wood line. But Harya hasn't made any more man-at-arms, just this one. And the idle TC time is still pretty similar for both. This should be a dead man-at-arms here pretty soon, but is going to get a couple hits off against this archer. Archers are a little bit tankier against man-at-arms. Or, sorry, man-at-arms tank a little bit better against archers before fletching, but fletching is now in for Russ, so Harya is going to put up a blacksmith and a stable. Okay, so Harya playing more into the Civ's kind of usual identity. Not that the archer move is specifically bad, especially if you only intend to really use them in feudal age. And an early castle, you can still get Bodkin Arrow on them, and they still do a decent bit of damage in early castle under the right circumstances. But yeah, scouts. Well, okay, is Harya gonna lose some Vills here? That Vill was already weak, and Russ saw it, but they're gonna make it in. And Harya is spawning or training the scout cav inside the stable. I don't know if Russ saw that. Check and see if he saw the flag. It looks like he did. So he should be aware that scouts are coming. Is he going to make a spearman? No, but also once you get up to... He's got 5 now. I don't know how it'll end up playing with 5 archers versus 3 scouts. Oh, 4 scouts. Okay, I'm pretty sure the scouts will win this pretty convincingly, although there is some elevation over here. If Russ can take some good shots from the elevation, these will die pretty quickly. Scouts do have 2 pierce armor. Oh, and actually Harya's even gotten scale barding, so yeah, they only take 2 damage a shot from these archers, and they all go down pretty quickly. Now up to 5 scouts for Harya. Russ currently doesn't have any army. Still don't see a spearman. I would really like to see at least 1 spearman here. Russ also has his hunting vills out here completely idled. Looks like they've kind of been forgotten at the moment. And he's going to get hit over here again. Oh, he's going to try to market wall it, but they can still get around the side there. She's going to run, but it's going to be... Yeah, the same thing's going to happen to her that happened to the male vill earlier. There is the spear. 1 spear is not going to kill 5 scouts, but does get a good hit in there. So now one of these scouts is basically 1 hit from anything. And Russ was almost finished taking his berries. Also gets a quick ball in on the wood line. So that's well played. Looks like the scouts are going to try to go around to the gold. He's just going to go ahead and run him towards the TC. And could garrison here. They were inside the range for a little bit there. I don't know if any shots would have hit. They might find these vills coming back, though. Yeah, yep, he'll see those. And this is going to be some dead vills for Russ. I think probably 2 will go down before the spears come in. Yep, 2 dead vills. 1 more scout came in to join. These are all very low HP now, but they can still be annoying. They also got up to castle at pretty similar times. Russ is about 30 seconds ahead. Good call here on the micro with the spears. He's thinking that his gold's vulnerable, and immediately... Oh! He actually tried to snipe a farm there to deny Russ 60 wood. So that was a good little thought. Can take those kind of small wins here and there. Any more production buildings coming up? No, but we do have 3 on stone for Harya. And he could drop a Krepos once he hits castle. He's actually got 8 on stone. He's got 5 here and 3 here. I didn't notice that there were 2 different stones there. Got a longsword out from Russ. He's also getting scale mail, so first armor upgrade for those. He's gonna go... Looks like 4 longswords in queue for the moment. Those will be good if Harya comes forward to try to drop a Krepos. But now he's just gonna... he's putting down 1 defensively on his gold, and then also gonna put a TC down on the gold as well. So this will actually end up working out pretty well for Harya, because the longswords are going to go forward to try to find damage. They're not going to be able to hit the gold because the Krepos will be there. The stone, however, they can still hit, and they're actually going to come in right now. Krepos probably still got about 40 seconds. But meanwhile, Russ is having to quick wall his stone. Well done. Still has the spears back there too. And yep, he is going to find the vills on stone. And longswords, once they start getting hits in, they kill vills pretty fast. So that's 2 vills down for Harya, with a likely 3rd. 1 longsword goes down to Castlefire. She might make it! Oh, saved by the arrows. The TC fire kills those. I'd have done the same thing there. Yeah, the scouts were walled out. None of them died. They are still living. He might actually garrison them in the Krepos to heal him up. but he doesn't really need to. I mean, yeah, we got Conics coming out for Harya, and Conics are a tough unit to counter. If you want to make one unit that just kind of counters them wholesale, it's probably Cav Archers. Even then, you still have to watch your micro. And these guys are very even. We also need to watch for overchops here. This tree... Okay, so there's actually... well, yeah, once this gets chopped and this gets chopped, this will be open. And there's actually one more back here, so... it actually got opened up from this side. Ooh, and he's making a university, but the Vill's going to go down to the Conics before... Oh! Goodbye. Yeah, she's been maced, and there is the CA. I noticed this when I played Russ. He's very good at getting into the CA mass pretty early as Bulgarians. Now Harya does have full armor on these Conics, and he's going to hit the gold. Those Vills were not walled in. Some Spear's going to put some hits in on this one. Once the Conic dies, the Rider will stand back up and continue fighting as an infantry unit. I'm guessing... Is Russ just countering with CA? Where are they? Yeah, okay. Now there's no more Spears. There's still one mounted Conic and a dismounted Conic. Oh, there's also another mounted Conic over here. And he's into this woodline that got overchopped. There is also a Krepost. Russ put a Krepost down here. Shoots down the Conic, but the dismounted Conic does take out a villager before he dies. And one more dies over here. He does have his CA forward, but there were 4 Conics already in that Krepost. And yeah, 4 CA... I feel like you just chase this down if you're Harya. And Harya's also got far better eco at this point. Despite actually having far greater TC idle time, it's because he got a second TC up, and Russ has been 1 TC this entire time. Also stonewalling the back of his base. Yeah, don't believe this 956. He's probably... I would put him at closer to 1200 level at this point. I'm curious about husbandry. No husbandry for Russ, and none for Harya either. So right now, the CA and the Conics are kind of on an even playing field as far as speed. But husbandry will be a pretty big upgrade. 3 more CA coming to shoot down this Conic. Looks like that'll just be taken down. The university is going down, or was taking some hits, is not going to go down. Russ get ballistics? Does not yet, but it's not as... You don't need ballistics quite as much in this matchup as it's playing out, because ballistics is mainly good for things that aren't trying to get right in your face. That said, this massive Conics will probably go ahead and put the CA to bed now. Cav don't have bloodlines either. Does Russ even have a stable? He does. So he can research those. He's definitely got to be concerned that Harya can just come right back into this side of his base. The gold is going to be easy to hit again. Is back down to only 3 CA and a single longsword. So yeah, Harya's kind of gotten up to the critical army mass. They're sitting at home for now, but they can go forward anytime they want, which appears to be right now. And Harya's also heavy on stone. He's got 18 on stone. Russ put a second TC up, but it's going to be right in the path of the Conics. And, oh, he's actually kind of lucky that the Vills didn't tap the Krepost Foundation. If they had gotten a tap off on the Krepost, then it could have gone down. The Conics could have bonked it. definitely... Russ needs to try to get some more military. The monastery is going to go up. Might go ahead and grab a monk. A monk to convert the Onyx could be a good idea. It's going to go ahead and make 2, and is going to go ahead and try to get the Krepos up. Kind of a missed opportunity here for Harya. Like, he didn't know that the Krepos was going up because the Vils didn't get a hammer tap on it. But he could have maybe camped that building foundation. You know, stayed outside the TC range. But the Krepos goes up, so that'll protect this area a bit for Russ, although this is actually the point where you want to start thinking about getting ballistics. And he's actually almost got the resources for it. But then he suddenly didn't. I don't know if he maybe made a 3rd TC or something. But here's that vulnerable area. And there's going to be another poor villager sacrificed. Yep, there's another TC. That's not going to get up before the Conics get here, though. Lacking husbandry or no. Now, Russ actually has about caught up in Vils, but the army count's still heavily in Harya's favor, and Harya has imp resources. Harya could click imp at any time. The Krepos counts as a castle for being able to click up to Imperial Age. Hasn't noticed that he's got the res quite yet, but Restless Gold is going to get hit yet again. Just passing. They are going to get out of there, and he does have more gold income up here. These Conics could very easily just get in on this stone. They knock down palisade walls very quickly. Mario's just going to go underneath the TC here. Yep. Oh, Russ was trying to send Vils out to this gold pile underneath this other TC, and they took some hits. But Harya is now going to find this TC. It is going to be garrisoned. Russ does have Bodkin Arrow, so the TC is doing the max damage that it can in Castle Age, but there's the imp click for Harya. Russ is actually pretty close too. He just got imp resources himself. And yeah, that should be a click for him too. That's the only way that so many res would have gone down so fast, right? Yep. And good TC to put it in. This is the TC that is least threatened at the moment. One of the Conics goes down to the TC. Still don't think there's been ballistics. Nope, yep. I mentioned that the Conics could get through that, and they did. So Russ is now unable to take stone for the moment. Conics going under the TC again. Good reaction, good garrison. Still going to lose one Vil there. And here are the monks. The Conics are actually slowed down at the moment because of the dismounted Conic, but now they speed back up. Harya does have a castle as well, so he can research stirrups to make his cav attack faster. Pretty strong upgrade. I think this might be a pair of conversions here, though. There's one. I think that's actually pretty unlucky for Russ. I feel like he deserved to get both of those. Those monks were both converting for quite a while. But he does get one. There are still 4 over here, though, so... Oh, the converted Conic actually does knock 1 off the horse. And then all of those die. Ooh. Yeah, advantage Harya at this point. Despite the similar imp times, Russ doesn't have a castle, only Krepos. So Harya will be able to make Trebs, and the Trebs will take out the Krepos pretty quickly. I don't know if... Okay, Harya making another Krepos on this gold, taking more resources. Yeah, 15 Vils more for Harya. There's Stirrups and also Elite Conic. Was it him? I remember casting a match where I was really surprised that someone got Elite Conic very soon into Imperial Age, but I don't know if that was Harya or maybe somebody else. Regardless, Russ is getting Bracer, Parthian Tactics, and Ballistics. He's getting that for 3 CA, though. the gotta get some production going ASAP. Good Krepost on this gold, but yeah, it's imp now. No trebs have been created for Harya yet. I am pronouncing that with the like enunciated H. I think it might just be Arya. I will note that. It's just kind of a verbal tick of mine. Sometimes I want to enunciate those. Alright, good CA-Q for Russ now. So these don't have chemistry yet, and they aren't heavy CA, which that's going to be a tough upgrade to get into, but does have bloodlines now. These are 6+3. Conics have got... Conics, so Arya does not have plate barding yet, but has kind of done... really likes stonewalling his base, and has blocked off pretty much the area that isn't covered by the fortifications. He's getting Heresy. That's a very expensive upgrade. I mean, he has seen monks, but Russ has been going very heavily into the monks. The monks were kind of just meant to be a deterrent. Short-term deterrent. But getting up to a mass of now 21 CA. The Vil count has stayed pretty... Like, the difference is still about... Yeah, it's down to 10 Vils, so Russ has caught back up a little bit in terms of Vil count. Chemistry coming in, so these will be 6+4 CA now. It'll be unfortunate missing heavy CA if he gets into a fight, but these are going to be as good as they can be without being heavy CA. But Harya's going to come back in on the left side here. He's going to find this Krepost, and the monks have actually gone into the Krepost. Now, that'll be a not super fun surprise for Russ if he tries to convert these conics and finds out that Arya's got Heresy of all things. Not really an upgrade. I think I certainly wouldn't be expecting that upgrade at this point. Vil counts are actually caught back up almost completely, but the army numbers are pretty firmly in Arya's favor at the moment. 31 elite conics in 2 groups. This group is going to be kind of a distraction. One's going to go down to the Krepost. The CA are here, but the other group is going to swing around. This is 16 elite conics. They could absolutely destroy this area. You can only fit 15 Vils in that TC. This is a very vulnerable area despite the town center being there. CA are just... I think Russ might have used the guard command and had them guard the Krepost. There is heavy CA coming in, so that'll be pretty much all the upgrades, I think. He's got full armor. Yep, heavy CA, I believe, is the last upgrade that's needed for these. So he'll have his unit, and as I mentioned earlier, heavy CA are probably the best option against mass conics, but that doesn't mean that the conics still aren't good. These are still missing plate barding, though. They don't have the final armor upgrade. So this is actually... I expect this to go pretty well for Russ. Krepost takes a couple hits. One rough thing about Krepost compared to castles is that they do have half the HP. A little over half. But maybe might be worth looking into like masonry or something. Russ still lacking a castle itself is a problem here. He is going back out to stone. This is going to be a very exposed stone. He does have a couple of Vils on this one again, but yeah, both of the stones are pretty exposed, and part of the issue is that the stones are exposed, and he needs the stones to be able to make the fortifications to protect the stones. Russ is going to go ahead and start teching into Light Cav and eventually Hussar. And we do have some ranged upgrades clicked for Arya. Fletching will help out with the castles and the Krepos. Also getting the archer armor. Is he going to go CA of his own? Right now it's still just Conics. We've got Town Patrol and Handcart. We're getting Iron Casting for Russ. Light Cab is in. He has gone... He's just sent everyone... I mean, not everyone, but 22 vills to this stone. So he's going to try to get enough for a castle as soon as he can. Where... Okay, so Russ's CA mass has left. He's going around the right side. I mean, he could get some kills here if he hits this. But the castle and the Krepos protect everything. And Arya doesn't know, but if he goes forward now... Oh, he's making Elite Skirm. Okay. He's also getting Gambesons and Bloodlines. So, kind of... exploring all his options. Russ has the Eco Lead now. Is going to try to wall this up one more time. Going for house walls, but does have enough stone for a castle now. And has 44 heavy cav archer. Now those will struggle against the Elite Skirm, but Russ has teched light cav and now Hussar. He's made it around the map. He is gonna probably find this woodline. Arya notices that instantly because of the outpost. And he kills one vill for it. Yep, you gotta run. He's too good at defense. Outpost will go down. And I don't really think these... Okay, so he did get the armor on the Conics now. Russ has got to be careful here. But so does Arya. Some castle shots being taken by the CA there. More CA up front. Russ is going to see these skirms now. The skirms do not have the final armor. And they don't have Bracer either. That is now about to come in, as is Conscription. It's a good game. Yeah, they've been pretty evenly matched with this. Russ does have a castle. It would behoove him to get stirrups as well for his light cav. We have a pause. Don't know if someone is stepped away, maybe. But Russ also has a sneaky vill over here. And has a monk that is staring death in the face. Has some Hussars, but they're all over here. And just queued a bunch more, probably in response to the skirms. But let's hopefully there wasn't a drop. That would kind of suck. This will be... Russ does have 2 relics. I don't think Arya's taken any. Has a monastery, but hasn't taken any relics. And actually a monk... Russ was trying to grab this one as well, but it got shot down by the Krepos.
Yes.
Longer game than expected. Yeah, they have both gotten into the Bulgarian late game. So, alright, yep, we've got a light cav click for Arya as well. Russ is just going to wait for the Hussar to come in. They both, so they're secondary units, they're trash units. Neither of them have the final armor. Arya's main unit is the Conic, which is fully armored and teched up. Russ's main unit is the CA, which is has everything. But the skirms don't have the final armor, and the Hussars don't have the armor. And... Nope. The scouts that killed the monk are going to patrol on in and meet their dooms. Arya can actually just kind of snag this if he wants. This is a good take, getting this gold. This is definitely, like, this is exposed. If Russ were to try to do some raiding, these would have some pretty serious trouble. But refuge and anonymity at the moment. Oh, maybe not. They are headed that way. Arya's going to see it with his outpost, though. He clicks Hussar. Or, yep. So he patrolled them. One of them's going to go in on the gold miners. 4 of them, actually. Okay, yeah, so these are going to be some dead vills for Arya. He's going to lose them all. Is not pulling back the army. Still no armor, but we do have trebs. And Russ is going to try to kill him. In came the skirms. I don't know if I like this for Russ. He's going underneath Krepos fire. He's running his CA into skirms. The skirms will die faster because of the lack of armor, but yeah, I feel like there's going to be some significant heavy CA losses here. One trip goes down, but yeah, this isn't a very good fight for Russ. Also lost his castle. There were something like 60 CA, and now there's only 36 on the field. Now, one kind of nice thing is that the Hussar did get their armor, and they now serve as a meat shield that doesn't take a bunch of damage from the skirms. Obviously, Conics beat Hussars. Some micro here from both of them. But also the Q's not really there. I feel like you gotta garrison your TC here, but the Q is full. How many archery ranges does Russ have? 5. So this is, and this is something I struggle with too. This is probably a case of you want more production buildings. But also, this is kind of tough just in terms of resource collection. If you want to pretty consistently run Hussars, you usually, I feel like you want a little bit more eco than this. That said, the Conic mass has also been reduced by quite a bit. There's only 14 now, and Arya's going into Hussar of his own. In terms of like tankiness against arrow fire, the Conics and the Hussars are actually the same in the sense that they both have 6 armor. Obviously, Hussars have less HP. I don't know how those guys dodge those shots, but that raiding group of Hussar gets taken out. Pretty serious advantage Russ now. He's got some Hussar raids over into the exposed woodline over here. This farming eco is still completely safe for Arya, but there's just not a ton in here. I say that, and he immediately puts down some more. Pretty serious eco lead now for Arya, though. Or, sorry, eco deficit. It's about 30 bills. Russ is putting down a trap. The Conics have come forward. I think he might lose the rest of his Conic mass if he commits this, but he's going to go ahead and run him away. He's going to charge in against the heavy cab archers, but there's not enough Conics for this. This is fine. I mean, yeah, good job microing. And the Hussars are going in to take out the skirms, which is, I actually don't even think the Bulgarians get, they don't get the last archer armor. So that's not a forgotten tech, it's just a missing tech. This Krepos goes down, which means this gold is now exposed. We have got, I mean, the CA came in a bit deep. I mean, they'll be fine. They'll take out a bunch of Hussar. I think Russ might actually be taking this home here. But is going to go ahead and play it safe. Yeah, there's only 2 dismounted Conics now. It's a full trash army for Arya. This gold is still out here, but I mean, you could consider potentially. Look how many skirm shots Hussars take. Just gotta be careful here. Yep, good job. Protect the treb. This is kind of a trickle-trebbing situation, though. Trickle-trebbing is a little bit better against a Krepos than against a normal castle, because they have so much less HP. Also, I mean, skirms are getting some free shots in here. Russ does have a decent food stockpile, though, at the moment. Has made a bunch more hussars. They're going to chase the skirms away. Oh, okay. So he hasn't actually trickle-trebbed. He's just only activated one treb. Would be good to remember that those two are back there. With that said, this does look like it's going to be Russ's game, but it was a very close game. There were a couple times in there where I thought Harya was going to win. He definitely held the advantage through most of Castle Age, would be my opinion, when this side was still not walled. Hussar mass isn't here, though. Krepos goes down. I mean, still hasn't noticed these trebs. Gonna start taking down the archery ranges now. Right now, Harya's only got 4 of them. He's trying to put up some barracks. Guessing the thought will be pikemen or halberdiers out of these. They will still struggle against the CA. Because the only other option you have... Oh, yep, he's taking halberdier. I mean, if you get a big group of halbs actually in on the heavy cav archers, they will absolutely shred them. They do a ton of bonus damage. And the other trebs have been noticed. Russ is pop cap now, 91 army. Yep, just kind of fight this out. Harya has been microing very well, though. He kind of draws the hussars in where they're taking damage from multiple sources, so they haven't been very effective as a meat shield. And then he sends his own hussar. Oh, wow! They actually got in and are able to hit the trebs. CA take him out, though. Treb lost 100 HP. Halbs are coming in. They will absolutely shred the hussar. He's losing ground. And the eco count. Yeah, he started training back up some bills. He's at 71 now, 72. For a long while there, it was kind of stagnant. But also, there was a lot of fighting going on this game, so can't be too critical about not making eco when you're trying to micro groups of Conics here and, you know, put up Krepos here and make CA and a lot going on. But yeah, as Russ says in his cast, this is pretty much mop up at this point. Harya can still make some units. He's got another group of Hussar. Those are just going to die to the CA, though. Might take out the already weakened Treb, but they take so many shots just going in to try to get to it. Russ defended that very well. Has gone out for this gold. This was a weird gen. There was, like, no gold in basically this entire massive area of the map. All the gold was kind of focused over in, you know, kind of between the bases. There was this one. There's actually still a neutral stone over here that hasn't been taken. But yep, I mean, it's GG. And it was a very good game. I was very impressed with both of them there. Russ is still the Bulgarians master. I mean, okay, obviously if we put Russ in a Bulgarian, you know, mirror against like Tom or Secretary or whatever, he'd still struggle, but at least out of us folks that are, you know, in the 1100-ish and lower category, he is the Bulgarian master. Another decent group of military out. I mean, Arya does have no gold access, so it's just gotta be all trash units here. The Treb will get picked, though. It got ahead of itself. It's gonna be the second to last Krepost being taken down. Yeah, he's just got the Trebs covered by the CA. So the siege can't go around to snipe him. That's well done. Krepost will go down with these 2 shots, I think. Oh, no, one of them missed. Usually you don't have to really worry about Treb accuracy against castles, but Kreposts are a bit smaller, so they actually can and did miss. Okay, this is kind of funny. Russ has 82 heavy cavalry archer. He's trained so many up that he doesn't really have any Hussar at the moment. And he still has 34 in the queue, as well as 90 Hussars. I appreciate the micro, but you really don't particularly need to micro this. At this point, just let him shoot. The snake! Yeah, they noticed the snake. Oh, it was a bait. Don't worry about it here. The Trebs might die this time. And actually, there is no more gold on the map from what I see. Sorry, the only gold that's left on the map is this 657 that's at the front of Arya's base. The Trebs stayed up. Okay, wow. I am really surprised that the heavy CA took that many losses there. And the GG is called, so I mean, very close match. Like I said, particularly in the earlier game in early Castle Age, but yeah, I mean, Conics are really good, and I think if you're playing into a Civ that doesn't get heavy Cav Archer, well, okay, it's not like heavy Cav Archers are the only things that can beat them in both forms. Arbalests can accomplish the same thing. They're just a little bit less mobile. Mass Scorpions can beat Conics if you've got enough of them. Flemish Militia would do well against, well enough against both forms of Conic. But I think this kind of shows that you've got to have heavy CA in your back pocket for a late game Bulgarians comp. That's just kind of my thought at the moment. And like, for what it's worth, Russ did the same thing to me when we played, except I didn't even make it to Imp, so in either game. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Hope to see a bunch more of these kind of things in the future. It'll be, again, their duels in the LEL Discord. And yeah, good game, and I'll probably put this up on YouTube.